And Nikki, let's chat briefly about Bank and what an amazing product that is. Um, so Bank Code is now called Codebreaker, and it is a personality assessment, but honestly, it is such a valuable tool in life. It is not just for business. It is not, I know a lot of people think it's for just sales. It isn't just for sales. I mean, it will help you to make sales easier. And it comes with an extension onto LinkedIn, and it helps you to decipher people on LinkedIn so that you know who you're talking to. And it just allows us to present uh, the product that we're selling in a way so that the other person can understand it better. Because sometimes, I'm sure we can all agree that we sometimes communicate differently, right? Like there's 4 different personalities. Do we have the cards out? We have 4 different personalities. And I know for me, I like my information presented a certain way. And that is, I need a brief explanation and I need it to be fun. If you can make it fun, that's the bonus for sure. Because I know not everyone, is going to go out of their way. But here's the 4 personalities. And it's phenomenal if you can have these cards with you. They're actually fun at a party, and people start putting them together like, oh yeah, this is me, this is me, this is me. And so these two are somewhat similar. Not, this one. This is the fun one. This is the one that wants the information fast and to the point. It's got to be fun. If you can include like a celebrity has this product, this would be the one to pull that card out. This one is super. So this one's called Action. This one acts fairly quickly. The less selling you do, the better off you are. This one, you need to make it about the whole. If you can make it about the whole world, that'd be great. If you can make it about the whole community, the whole family, they're coming to join a community. That's, this is it. They're very nurturing. There has to be a higher purpose. It's all about all of us, and it's not about the money, and so on and so forth. So like this one will drive a Ferrari, let's say, or a Mercedes. This one will probably drive a van because that's how you fill up the car with the most amount of people, right? Or maybe just a really big Mercedes, maybe, depending. Large, so that a large number of people can come in. These two are a little less similar to these, right? These are more blueprint. This one needs systems, processing. Oh my God, they need everything. Like, there's rules, there's credentials, titles, tradition. This is them, right? And if you're late, if you come on time to an appointment, you're already late. So that's this one. There's going to be charts. There's going to be Excel spreadsheets. I'm not this. And then there's this one that will ask you 6.5 million questions. And then when you answer them all, they'll say, okay, now I have enough information to go home and research. Like, what? I just told you everything. But nope, now they're going to go home. And so this one's tough, right? Because there's never enough information, right? It's a lot of mental. We need this, we need intelligence, we need information. And they're all fun, and we have all 4. It's just a question of how much. So I spent quite a bit studying. So this one was super high. This one and this one are almost identical. They're 1 number apart because when you do the advanced version, there's a number. And these two, this one's, I think they're only like maybe 2 or 3 numbers apart. This one was really low. It was in the single digits for me. And over the course of the time, it's important for me to learn how to be a little more organized. So that's where this one comes in for me. But I love surrounding myself with these people because I don't have a lot of this. So I want more of this because this is what I need. I also love myself, so I want more of this too. So that's my take on it. It's an absolutely amazing tool. We are having a presentation I believe it is for free on the 17th of December. If you'd like to join me or us, please DM me, or if you feel drawn to Nikki, then DM Nikki and we'll get you the link to the free session. It is absolutely amazing. You will not be sorry. You will love it. It will help you. And it helped me create honestly, I don't think I would have been able to represent this person in the old me, because this gentleman was all about the process. There was plenty of questions. I answered them all with an extreme amount of patience, which I normally don't have. And in an hour and a half conversation, he said, yeah, I think you should be the person to take the listing. On the phone, never met each other, never anything. We did finally meet in person one day at the actual property, but it was out of town, so we both kind of had to go out of town. And this is the kind of thing I'm talking about. I mean, there's people that have talked about, and shared about their families, like they didn't understand their children, they didn't understand their siblings, their parents. And this brings about an extra understanding. I have a friend that likes to ask a lot of questions, and I could never understand why she won't just be like, there just never seems to be enough questions. I'm like, okay, well, how much more information do you need? Like, there's just total information overload. Anyway, so this is just the short version of an explanation of how I feel about this. Nikki, did you want to say anything? I know you
I
do.
just, in the beginning, when I heard of this, I thought, I don't want to categorize people.
Right?
And you're not categorizing people. What you're doing is understanding what is the dominant way that they communicate and what motivates them. And that's why people tend to think it's all about sales, but it changes the communication you have with every other person. And I love the explanation that they give in the bank trainings, and that is, if you go to Japan, you don't expect everybody else to speak English. You learn to speak Japanese. And if you are making a connection with somebody and they have a very formal way of doing things, they're probably a blueprint, which is the blue card. Whereas you can talk and address them in a way that makes them comfortable. And somebody earlier today, there's been so many powerful things, but somebody was talking about listening. And a big part of listening is making sure, or communicating, is making sure that the listener can hear you. Well, if you're speaking English and they're speaking Japanese, they can't hear you. The same with the bank cards and the profiles. You know, I learned that I can't run around going, hey, hey, to everybody. Because as soon as I do that to somebody who's a completely knowledge focused person, they go, yeah, I don't think so. And they shut down. So if I can just turn around and respect where they're coming from, that's what it's about. Respect, and communicate with them on their level and say, good evening. I have this information for you. Not, hey, hey, do you want a hug? In their eyes, giving them information probably is a hug. You know?
So, but
So
this one wants a hug, right? This one wants a hug back.
yeah,
If you don't
yeah,
give them a hug, they're probably not going to do business with you.
yeah. They don't want to know what the costs are or what the goal achievement is. They want to know how many people it's going to help. And when you understand that, you know how to speak to them and you are respecting their values. And this has been powerful for me in my coaching, in my messaging, in my social media, in my sales, and in my marriage. Because I just thought my husband was being a nuisance, not answering questions when I asked them, and all the rest. But now I understand that he's actually knowledge. So when I present something, he's processing it. And he will come back to me when he's got all the facts to give me. I don't care about the facts, and he's learned to realize that too. Does it work or doesn't it work? That's what interests me. So the power is in understanding other people and being able to speak their language.
So true. It's so true. I don't want to hear the facts. I know I'm like, oh, I had a lady trying to sell me something, and I'm actually telling her, I go, listen, I'm going to stop you right here, right now. This whole PowerPoint presentation isn't working for me. One, it's too long. Second, I don't really hear what you're saying. It's kind of like it's going in. I'm already thinking about what I'm doing tomorrow on my schedule. I'm not listening, and I will probably never listen to you, but I do understand what the product is approximately. That's enough information for me. Can we just do this? And I would like this, this, and this, and this is how, this is how you're going to deal with me. It's going to be quick and easy. And here's my credit card. Let's go. And she's like, huh? But I have to do a presentation. I go, no, can we just say you did? Can we not do it and just say we did? And that's it. And I go, honestly, and I just signed up and that was it. It's the way I do things. It's go big, go home, right? It's when we were talking about the supplements earlier, I was like, okay, well, if I'm gonna do it, I think I should just get the highest amount. And just, what's the point of going with the little, I'm gonna eventually end up here, so let's just do it right away. And then, I wasn't really that familiar with the product. I hadn't had a chance to try it. Because giving out samples is kind of how you get these products. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't live there. By the time I get a sample, it's going to be 3 weeks. It's going to take forever to get here from the States. So let's just do this now. I'll try it, the appropriate amount, and then let's do this. Like, this is just how it is. So
Yeah.
it's important to not bore that person who thinks that way, because if you continue to talk, I'm probably not going to buy. Whereas
Yeah.
the other one needs the extra information. This isn't going to be enough, and even if you give it to them and they have an exceptional experience, it's still not going to be enough for them. They need to hear some more information. It's just the way it is. And nobody's right and nobody's wrong. There's no this or that. It's just, this is the way it is, and this is the way it is. And that's it.
And the other thing that you said, which is so important and has been important for me, when I first took this test and it showed it to me in a pie chart, I couldn't even see the green, which is like the knowledge. And yes, I do have knowledge, however, not that kind of knowledge. But as I've realized that, I've been able to exercise that part of my knowledge and understanding. So my green has gone up because we all have all four. And all four interact. And I can tell you right now, Marianne operates in a higher amount of different areas of this, depending what she's doing. And that's the way it works. So it's encouraging, it's powerful. And the other thing I've learned is if you are talking to an action person, have the link and have the price. If you are talking to the knowledge person, have all the information. If you are talking to a blueprint, be polite, lay out the charts for them to look at. And a knowledge and a blueprint, you may not get an answer from straight away. An action, if they don't give you an answer, get back to them fast. And for a nurturer, just give them the passion. Put the passion behind it. And when you understand that, you realize that you are growing in your communication skills, because you do have to observe, you do have to listen, and you do have to be quiet to see what's going on in the other person's mind. Don't be quiet too long with an action. They'll be gone and they'll just say, send the contract, my VA will deal with it, So it's exciting.
It is. And you know what? When I do real estate, I'm certainly much more in action mode than when I'm coaching. And when I'm coaching and I'm teaching, it's going to be nurturing. Nurturing is going to come first above all else, because that's what it is. But I do want to read off the cards to you. So here's action. This is their card. These are just the preliminary. I mean, there's so much more to this. That's why we want to invite you to the actual event. Like I said, it's free. All you have to do is show up. you won't be sorry, because if all you ever do is show up for that one event, you will already walk away with like
Yeah.
so many new skills and so much more knowledge. But who knows, you might want to use the product because it's so amazing. My social media girl uses the extension every day. Like, she goes on LinkedIn every day. I think this would be perfect for real estate agents and also for recruiters. I used to be a recruiter and we were on LinkedIn all day long. And you're cold calling. Anyone who's cold calling off of LinkedIn, you need to talk to me. Like, don't even think about it. Just talk to me, come to the event, and then make your decision. But I do want to read off some stuff. And so the action, some of their traits is they love freedom, flexibility, spontaneity, action, opportunity, excitement, attention, stimulation, competition, winning, fun, and image. They love their image. They wear the designer clothes. They drive the designer cars. They have the pools. They have the big houses. The show off this, show off that. They love that. They love the having money and they love showing it off. The nurturing. They value relationships, authenticity, which is the name of this, personal growth, significance, teamwork, involvement, community, charity, ethics, harmony, morality, and contribution. So I'm right in the middle of both of those because I do love those. The blueprint, the opposite to the red, for sure, opposite to the action. Stability, structure, systems, planning, processes, predictability. Oh my gosh, every single one of those I'm not. Responsibility, I can deal with that one. Duty, rules, credentials, titles, and tradition. A little bit different from the other ones. And Nikki's favorite, knowledge, is learning, intelligence. So they value learning and intelligence. It's all mental, right? Logic, self-mastery, technology, research and development. There's something you'll never see in my title. Science, universal truths that I can get on board with. Expertise, competence, accuracy, and the big picture. Now I can relate to the big picture. So there's some things in there. There's more to it. There's so much more to it. And it's amazing. I just did my level 5 coaching. Nikki uses the, I'm not sure what you use, Nikki. Do you use the,
I use the LinkedIn extension.
and?
Sorry, I thought I was muted for a second. I use the LinkedIn extension and I drop links to share with people so that they get a report on themselves and I get a report on them. And it makes it so much easier for me to work with them. I'm also have the lower level of training, and just going through the modules is amazing. Absolutely amazing. And the other thing that is incredible is that there are these cards for kids too. So kids can get these cards and it's worded slightly differently and they can then identify their personalities. So the kid in school who's always been outcast, called a geek and all the rest can now recognize that he's not just an outcast, he just has a different way of processing information. He's usually the knowledge. You know, the high school prom king is usually the action. Neither one is better than the other. And understanding this, I've heard stories where families have got on so much better now because parents understand their children and they understand why they respond in certain ways. As I said, my relationships, particularly my marriage, but having people know how they express themselves makes them feel accepted because they are actually accepted. And the whole principle of this is that we get to make people matter, no matter what their primary means of communication is or thought process is. So that's just awesome. And there are so many testimonies to this. It's powerful. I encourage you. I have been to one of the previous events and I was blown away. I thought I would just hop on for a short period and then I would now go and do my thing afterwards. Well, I couldn't tear myself away from that. There were breakout rooms in that particular one. The coaching, the interaction, it all brought so much clarity to what this is about. And if it's free, what have you got to lose? Jump on.
Nothing, no losing, only winning here. So
Yep.
I post the link above on my page, and Nikki will post it on her page, and by all means connect with either one of us. The code, you can do your own, it's called Crack Your Code. You can crack your own code and just learn a little more about yourself, right? Isn't that our favorite subject? Us, right? So go and learn a little about yourself for free, and then come to the event, connect with either one of us. I want to thank everyone. I want to thank all my speakers, the ones that are listening to me right now and the ones that are done. They will come on again. I want to thank everyone for this entire 2024 year. I'm so happy I committed to myself and I did it. I had a summit every single month this year and it got better and better and better. And my speakers are spectacular. Thank you to all of you who come out each time, who listen to us. Thank you again to all my speakers, and thank you for Nikki, who has now pretty much become my co-host. And she's for sure my Vanna White. So she is lovely. And thank you again, everyone. Any final words, Nikki?
Two things. Congratulations on achieving your goal for the year. And I'm so glad to hear that just because you've reached this goal, you're not going to cut it off and put it away, because what you bring forward here is absolutely amazing. And the only other thing I have to say is Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays to all of you. Don't miss out on what's still going on because it's Christmas. There's the summit. I know Marianne's got lots of other things, not the summit, the event for the bank code. It's been a long day, and so many other events. Stay tuned. Marianne brings so much wisdom all the time.
Everything is so beautiful. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Nikki, again, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Happy new 2025. The next one is scheduled for January 24th. It is a Friday. It is going to be on Goal Junkies. So if you like I like creating goals. I've been doing goals since I was 19 years old. I'm now 62. I'm going to be, oh my gosh, on January 24th, I'm going to be about 2 weeks away from, maybe 2.5 weeks away from my 63rd birthday. So that is a lot of goals I have written out in my lifetime. But goals are fun. And, I'm not the only one that does them. So we're going to talk about goals. We're going to have some fun. Come join us again. It's free on here. So thank you all again. And everyone take a deep breath in. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And one more big inhale. And exhale. And namaste, and thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Thank you.